So hello everyone, welcome back again. This is the second video. As we discussed yesterday, I will be recording a video every day for the next 365 days. Yeah, तो हर दिन एक नया वीडियो लेकर आएंगे, एक नया लर्निंग वीडियो जो कि आपको हेल्प करेगा. चलो यार, I will not wait now. Let's start this video. Okay, so yesterday we discussed about a web application attack, and an attack basically attacker trying to compromise a vulnerability either because of the exploitation they mostly target. Last time on the last video somebody comment also like misconfiguration. Yes, definitely. Web application can be exploited if they are misconfigured by the admins. तो होता है क्या कभी कभी when the applications are installed in default nature, right? तो उनका डिफ़ॉल्ट यूज़र एंड पासवर्ड सेम रहता है, जैसे हम चेंज नहीं करते कभी कभी, राइट. कुछ फाइल्स होती हैं जो पब्लिकली रहती हैं, मे बी द कन्फिगरेशन फाइल्स विच कैन बी यूज्ड बाय द अटैकर टू सी द पासवर्ड्स टू कन्फिगरेशन ऑफ दैट मशीन सिस्टम एंड एप्लीकेशन. या वेरियस रीजन हो सकते हैं, लेकिन वी आर अगेन टेकिंग ए कंसिडरेशन एग्जाम्पल फॉर द SQL इंजेक्शन. या तो मैं शीट को वापस लेता हूँ स्क्रीन पे, एंड आई विल बी शेयरिंग माई स्क्रीन. Let me add this display capture for you. Display capture कहाँ गया मेरा? ये रहा display capture. Alright, ठीक है. डिस्प्ले कैप्चर को करते हैं ऑन. एक्सेल शीट दिखाई दे रही है? नहीं दे रही तो भाई चेंज कर देंगे कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. या सो आई होप यू कैन सी द एक्सेल स्क्रीन. या तो इसको हम एक काम करते हैं, अब आपको मेरी फोटो भी दिखाई देगी एंड होपफुली द एक्सेल शीट एज वेल. ठीक है दोस्तों, आई थिंक दिस लुक्स गुड. ऑलराइट, ठीक है. तो मैं फिर से इसको थोड़ा सा छोटा करूँगा फोटो को, क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा जूम हो रखी है. एंड राइट क्लिक, ट्रांसफॉर्म, स्ट्रेच टू स्क्रीन, नॉट दिस वन. ठीक है, आई होप दिस इज फाइन. ट्रांसफॉर्म क्या यार? चलो ठीक है. ऑलराइट, सो नाउ मैं थोड़ा सा इसको और एक्सप्लेन करूँगा थोड़ा सा अच्छे फॉर्मेट में. मर्ज, हम सीख रहे थे वेब एप्लीकेशन अटैक, SQL इंजेक्शन. ठीक है, अटैकर यहाँ बैठा हुआ है, यहाँ पे एक कंपनी का नेटवर्क है. यहाँ पे कंपनी नेटवर्क है, इंटरनेट है. दिस इज एन इंटरनेट एग्जांपल. This is a company network and a hacker sitting outside. There are security controls. We have them. Like firewall, IPS, WAF, application server, and SOC team है. This is SIEM, triggering alerts. and SOC team there's L1 doing investigation. All right, so now we can see the attacker sending some network packets. Network packets basically has 4 layers: physical, internet, transport, and application layer. The malicious content, the malicious request is in the application layer. Always remember, the packet passing through the internet different routers and reaching to the final destination in the company network, right? And in the firewall, for example, accepting it. And once firewall accept the connection, there is an open port on the target server. If port is open, port is allowed, traffic will pass through the firewall, will be passing through different security control and reaching to the application server. So once the packet accepted by the application server or the web server, the packet will be executed right by the operating system. So if there is any request, there's a malformed request, application server will execute it, and because we are targeting the web database application, so the request will be executed and will be sent to the database server, and database server will execute it and will send the response back to the attacker. Right? If there is any signature triggered in the web or IPS on the firewall, then alert will go forward to the SIEM as a log forwarding mechanism. And if SIEM have a particular logic like logic to detect attack, then will trigger alert for the SOC team to investigate. SOC team will investigate, will start by the acknowledgement. They will investigate and they will report, right? So what SOC team and how SOC team investigate? So understand this. SOC team, we have L1, L2, or we can say is a lead as well, for example. Yeah. So basically the L1 is doing the initial investigation. How? Validating the logic of what? SIEM. Why SIEM triggered an alert in SIEM, and raw events which coming from the security control or the firewall. If that matched, then SOC team, the L1 will verify the alert triggered in the respective control. For example, web alert, then we'll check why web triggered alert, for example, like SQL injection, then validating this signature triggered in web or IPS. Right? Why basically why? The why you can know by downloading the packet capture if available. So investigate the packet capture with Wireshark or TCP dump Wireshark. Right? So you will look at you will download the packet capture. If IPS giving you that option or the web giving you the option, then you can open that packet through Wireshark. You will look into the application layer, what basically the content sent by the attacker to the target web application or database. If you find something suspicious, then you can also check something else. I will tell you later. So first they will validate the logic in the SIEM, validate the signature in the IPS or web. They will download the packet capture, investigate through Wireshark. Then they will look what other activity. Okay, they will look for what other activity basically this IP attacker IP address. For example, attacker is using IP address of 217.212.212.212. This is an attacker IP address, right? So now, irrespective of the signature triggered, SOC analyst will check the other contributing events, or we can say other correlated alerts or events. Correlated alerts or events. Might be there are some other signatures or there's some other logs which generated by the security control, which is not driven, which didn't trigger any further alert on the SIM, but triggered on the IPS, WAF, AV, maybe, right? We're looking for all activity. We will check for if we have the logs from any load balancer or the web application. Yeah, we'll check the other correlated alerts and events. Where, example, we'll check in the firewall, in the F5 or load balancer. Then if something bypassed the security control, then we can check web access logs. If we're talking about the IS server, right, then I will check IS logs. Otherwise, we will check the access logs, the HTTPS logs for the Linux machines. Which application basically using. Okay, so web access logs. Now, what they will find in the firewall logs? They will see the traffic information. For example, when traffic was initiated, when traffic stopped, right? Which port number it communicating. In load balancer and web access logs, SOC analyst can see what are the requests sent by the attacker, what is the method used, what is the response code, what is the user agent, right? So based on the user agent, based on the response code, method, request, right, we will see any attempts, if like example authentication attempts have been made by the attacker or not. We'll verify that. If no attack is successful, for example, if we are looking for this signature, right, maybe the different response code, we will prioritize and sort these response codes by 200. Then we'll be looking for the 300, then 400. Then also maybe attacker try to disrupt the services, then we are also looking for 500 response code also. So if something repeatedly triggering 500 response code from the server, we can also verify the status on the website at web application. So might be attacker do multiple activity, right? Attacker did multiple activity, but we got one alert on the SIM. However, SOC analysts have to check other events also, because it's not possible, it's not feasible to create every single activity as an alert. So we have to check all activity on the respective security control of the security devices or the logs, right? अगर उसने ऐसा कुछ किया जो कि logs में नहीं है, जो कि alert में नहीं है, then we will investigate further, right? Then they will look for the load balancer access logs. If they finding any specific attack or the vulnerability attempts, like for example, like CVE code, maybe attacker is running a different exploit, or not only the SQL injection, because SQL injection alert triggered through the SIM. Now we are checking other activity by the same external IP address. So might be with SQL injection, attacker is also doing cross-site scripting, right? Directed reversal. Yeah, brute force on the application. There might be other different attacks also, maybe attacker is doing, etc. Yeah, so we'll see, we will verify the events, we will then if there's a brute force login, then you'll see any successful login or not, yes or no. We will see any specific vulnerability that have been attempted to exploit, like any IP signature, any web signature. If we are not able to conclude, then we SOC analyst 1 will report to the L2. So now we can divide this responsibility. So maybe these guys will do these things only, and then L2 will be coming and doing all these steps. Yeah, then SOC team reporting to the device owner or the application owner. Why and what? So they are telling that there is an IP address, this IP address trying to exploit the vulnerability on the target server. We check the logic, it's fine, it's looking for the SQL injection attack. Then we looked for the signature triggered on the web IPS, We download the packet capture, we check correlated other events also, we see any other activity, we identified the possible attempts of other cyber web application attack also, we identify some brute force, signatures, response code, many things they can mention here. So they will perform, they will highlight whatever they did in their investigation to the application team. I'm just arranging this. Now the application team will see, right? Is application working fine, right? If the IP has any business, if no, they'll block the IP address. But what happen if attacker successfully, exploit any vulnerability? So SOC team will also recommend to check to test the application team. These vulnerabilities are patched on the server. We are sanitizing the user input. So even attacker trying to deliver some kind of script, it will be sanitized properly before reaching to the database of the application, right? They will verify the impact. If there is an impact, they will ask more details to SOC team to do the investigation, to the response, to check. Also, SOC team will also check maybe if there is any response or a reverse connection from our target server to the attacker IP. In the last, in most of the SOCs, in most of the SOCs, such attacks are just closed, alerts closed by blocking the IP reputation, by blocking the IP. So final action, blocking the IP. But ensure if you are in a SOC, if you are going in an interview, if you are investigating on such similar attack, you are recommending your application team, you are verifying all these steps, right? You asking your application team to verify or to do the impact analysis. If there is any disruption in the services, you also do checks at your side first. Everything and anything you can do the validation at your side. Once you do the validation, only after that you request application to team check. In 95% of the cyber security attacks, I don't recommend people to ask team to verify if there is an impact. We have the logs, we can do the analysis, we can see the impact, and we can recommend application team to take action accordingly. There might be we need their input to validate the IP reputation, to verify if there is business requirement, to make sure the application is patched, right? To make sure the signature triggered on the WAF and IPS are blocked, because if IPS and WAF giving some signature are they blocked, right? And there is a no reverse connections. So we are sure there is a no attack successful, and we have blocked the IP address, as there are different scanner who keep doing the scanning all time, all day to different companies, different web applications. It doesn't mean they are targeting it. So we can check the reputation on different sources like IBM X-Force, Wireless Total, Abuse IPTV, and run to see if that IP address is actually targeting specific websites or your company only, or it's being targeted other companies as well in the network, right? Any questions, guys? So I think this is a good example, to discuss in your interview or in to do the investigation when you're working in a SOC, or to prepare for web application attack investigation. Yeah. If you have any questions, guys, I will take the questions. Otherwise, I am done with my thoughts on this particular attack, what we can do, and how we can conclude if it's a true positive, false positive. Yeah, there might be some possibilities, some companies doing a vulnerability test from the outside sources, right? The third party which do the pen testing also in the network. You can ask them to verify, like if this IP is in business, they will let you know, okay, we're doing the pen testing, we're doing the external testing, so you can ignore this, you can avoid this. We'll see if there is any applications have any vulnerability, for the remediations. So this is all guys, like to and for information like how a SOC analyst spend the time for the investigation for a web application attack. Any questions, guys, please put in the comments. Otherwise, I'm good to close session. Nothing? All right. Happy learning, guys. I will keep coming with more new such videos. Yeah, please subscribe my channel if you haven't done yet. So as soon as I will come live, you will get a notification in your mobile apps, right? And you will join me at the live sessions. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. Bye bye.